Welcome to our special Kiel Week, days 1 to 4, Sailing World on Water, for June 27, 2025. 2025 Kiel Week opened under bright skies and summer-like Mediterranean conditions, welcoming more than 4,000 sailors across 1,500 boats for the start of one of the world's biggest regattas. While light and shifty winds delayed the start of racing into the afternoon, the competition in the Olympic classes as part of the Sailing Gran Slam competition was fierce from the first signal, especially in the high-speed women's skiff 49er FX class.
Summer weather in Kiel for the first day of the Kieler Woche sailing competitions. The regatta entries are once again very strong, with over 4,000 sailors competing in 1,500 boats. Major championship time in Kiel with the ILCA 6 World Championships this year. Mediterranean temperatures and only a light breeze led to a postponement of the start until the early afternoon, with plenty of time for athletes and spectators ashore. Today on the media track, the women's skiff class races. Weak and unstable wind meant it was all about looking for the wind pressure and keeping the boat moving in stop-start conditions. Race 1 of the 49er FX was very close and evenly matched in the first half. The race was then decided at the leeward gate. The Swedish and German teams, who had been in the lead until then, moved to the right, and the runners-up in the European Championship, Milzaka and Jankowiak from Gdynia, opted for the left-hand side of the course, where they were favoured by a wind shift. The Poles maintained their lead on the second upwind all the way until the finish, securing their first victory of the day in the yellow group. The experienced Brits, Black and Tidy, came second. Schwackhofer Stolz from Yacht Club Württemberg, who finished in a solid fourth place in the first race, did even better in the second and final race and took their first victory at this edition of Kieler Woche. Once again, the gate and the second cross were decisive, where the pair had the better speed in 8 knots of wind thanks to good side selection and skillful manoeuvres. The Germans confidently pulled out a considerable lead, which they defended to the finish. In the second half of the race, the reigning European champions, as well as 6th at the last Olympics, Bergman and Veal from Hamburg, also showed their potential, finishing in second place.
It's really important to just keep the head out of the boat, watch where the gusts start, where they go, and that's it for today.
Tomorrow we continue with day 2 at Kieler Woche and more beautiful warm weather on the Baltic Sea.
"11 teams crossed the start line on June 18 for the Transatlantic Race 2025, leaving Newport, Rhode Island for the 3,000 nautical mile course to the finish off Cowes, England.
Welcome to the start of the 2025 Transatlantic Race.
Today is race day. We're off, we're leaving Newport and crossing the big pond to the UK.
I'm feeling good. It's my first transatlantic, so I'm very excited. It's kind of crept up on us, so it hasn't quite hit me yet that we're about to set sail, but I'm very excited.
11 boats on the starting line today, from Volvo 70s to multi-hulls to cruising boats, and so we're pretty excited. That's a great mix of boats to race against. Very, very foggy the morning of the start, so there's not a lot of visibility. It's going to be a light air, tight single beat out. This is, I think, the ultimate challenge, kind of like Sydney Hobart or Fastnet, but to go across the Atlantic 3,000 miles, and there's such a history of the New York Yacht Club as well, doing this race, going back 150 years. This will be our 5th transatlantic race. We did the first one in 2005 and done every one since. Most of the gang, we've done all of them together, so it's a tight-knit group.
But it's busy leaving Newport, and then we're allowed to kind of get a bit of freedom. We've just got the whale mitigation zone to look out for, and then the ice zone, and then we're all clear. North Atlantic's always a little bit testing. There's always an element of risk, cold water, fog, and some big breeze, but that's part of the fun, and I love it.
The second day of Olympic-class racing at Kiel Week brought more bright summer weather and light, tactical conditions on the Kiel Fjord. In the 49er men's skiff class, both the yellow and blue groups completed 4 races in around 7 to 9 knots of wind, wrapping up the qualification series ahead of the final rounds.
Day 2 at Kieler Woche, and the good summer weather continues to shine in the north of Germany. Second day also for the 49er skiff class, with light winds around 7 to 9 knots. A thrilling 4 races at the end of qualification before the final round starts tomorrow. In the yellow group, the local heroes from Kiel, Simon Heidel and Konrad Jakobs, sailed 3 super races with a first, a fourth and a second place before slumping to 15th in the final 4th race. In the first race of the session, Heidel Jakobs took the lead on the first cross and sailed their skiff around the course at a higher average boat speed. With this and a better choice of side of the course, they kept their German rivals Mengendorfer Spranger at bay.
Today it was all about the wind speed and being in the right patch of wind pressure, and this was our goal for the race. It would be great to get to the medal race because we didn't race a medal race so far in our career. And especially here in Kiel, it would be fantastic to perform well. It's amazing to be here.
Ja, aber super hier zu sein und hier zu segeln.
The German Olympic representatives had a consistently good day today, and this Bavarian crew finished in 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 13th places. In the end, that was sufficient to move them into 4th place overall. The Austrians Pretner Flachberger had a difficult day, not coping at all in the first 3 races with finishes of 14th, 25th and even 31st. Only in the final race did the men from Lake Wolfgang burst into life. With victory in race 4 of the day, Pretner Flachberger still have a good chance of making it into the medal race this Wednesday.
It actually went the whole day over the same side, but in the first races we did not find a good solution. So for the final one, we took a little bit more risk. We made a plan and got the right side for the race.
There was also an Irish winner in Kiel today. Robert Dixon and Sean Wadilove were first round the windward mark at the end of the first cross and sailed down the right-hand side of the course to an unchallenged victory on the day. After day 2 of 49er racing in Kiel, the Uruguayans Umpierre and Dietz lead the overall standings ahead of the Australians Henry and Connor, both of whom were sailing in the blue group. The Germans Heindl Jakobs and Mengendorfer Spranger follow closely behind in the overall rankings.
The 2025 Finn World Masters has been an exceptional event in all aspects, from the competition, race management, onshore socials, partners program, but most of all for the weather. The 2008 Finn World Masters was also held in Medemblik and also had exceptional weather, so perhaps Finn Masters are just exceptionally lucky. For sure everyone in Medemblik this week felt lucky and privileged to be there. The atmosphere was just incredible.
We search for breeze neath clear Dutch skies where tactics win the day. So raise a glass and shout hooray, we've sailed our hearts out on the Medemblik Lake, but now we dream of dugongs, turtles and whales. Brisbane's a-calling far away, from Medemblik to Moreton Bay. Shorts and t-shirts sailing, a feed of prawns at the end of the day. We fought for room, we called the shifts. Now sails are down, boats are packed, the bar is full and so's the night. So raise a glass and shout hooray to the southern son of Moreton Bay. A Masters race is never done, from Markermere to Aussie Calais. Brisbane bound, hip hip hooray, and a feed of prawns at the end of the day. the boats and mend the gear, trade Heineken for 4x beer, trade stroke waffles for mango pies, Dutch clouds for blazing skies. So raise one more for the races past, the legends made, the friendships cast, off to the Brisbane shore where fins will fly, from Medemblik to Moreton Bay.
Here we go. I'm super happy. We are in Medemblik 2025 and this fleet with 218 boats. Incredible event, and I think even the most important maybe is the character of the people. You know, we have such a good atmosphere, we have such a strong character always. And everybody's here to cheer each other and to really enjoy the sport of sailing. I mean, variety of ages between 40 and 88, but the passion, the heart is there for everybody. So it's, I'm very thankful to be sailing here and to be in the fin and be part of the fin class. And this week was amazing.
But PJ just smiles and sails away.
Please help us by subscribing to this Global Sailing Highlights show. On day 3 of the Sailing Gran Slam at Kiel Week, all eyes and cameras were on the high-octane IQ foil class. Battling through gusts of up to 30 knots and powerful wave action, the foiling windsurfers delivered breathtaking performances in 4 course races, showcasing the raw speed and agility of this Olympic class.
Day 3 delivered what some might describe as classic Kieler Woche weather. Strong winds of around 30 knots, passing rain showers and good waves, all of which demanded a lot of physical strength and stamina from the sailors. Today's media focus was on the foiling windsurfers on their IQ foil boards, who are holding their World Championships in Aarhus after Kiel Week and see this regatta in the fjord as perfect preparation. Breaking with tradition, and as a community experience, the foilers have set up camp on the other side of the fjord in Stein. Recognised by the World Sailing Federation since 2018, the IQ foilers raced their first Olympic regatta last summer at Paris 2024. IQ foil races are sailed in various formats. After slalom races on the first 2 days, 4 course races were scheduled for today. Skiff from the Netherlands was ahead in the first 2 of the men's races. In the second race, Brul was able to spectacularly overtake the competition on the last section of the trapezoid course. In the end, the 23-year-old Dutchman moved up to 4th place in the Kiel Week standings.
You're mostly surviving, especially like the lighter guys. It's hard to sit in the harness, and I'm one of the lighter guys myself, 84 kilos, but no, it was a lot of fun, and managed to get 2 bullets, I think. So perfect. Yeah, couldn't wish for more.
Fabian Wolf from Hamburg, who had been looking forward to using the strong wind day to attack the leader of the regatta, Poland's Romanowski, was not quite able to fulfill his promise, but still finishing 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th in the 4 races. This puts the German in 3rd place overall, still within striking distance of the 2 leaders, Romanowski and the Korean Choi.
In the beginning it was a bit rainy, which made it a bit tricky to see the marks. But overall, I think we had a nice day with 4 races in the end. For me, it was a mixture out of everything. Sometimes I did really well, but then I was a bit unlucky. But yeah, overall, yeah, I can build on that and fully attack tomorrow again.
A tough but rewarding day for Sophia Meyer. The young German rider scored 4 strong finishes, crowning the day with a victory in the 4th and final race of the session. It almost slipped away from her when Meyer had a fall on the last trapezoid leg, but got up and running again in good time and was just able to save her lead over France's Justine Lemaitre to the finish.
Really tough, especially the downwind was a balance act through the waves. I sometimes felt like I was on a wing and not on a windsurf kit anymore because I was just cruising down the waves trying to stay up. Yeah, but the upwind was also tough, so it was just a fight overall.
After today's stormy day in Kiel, French rider Marion Couturier holds the lead with 1 first and 2 second places.
Staffing was a bit crazy today, especially like races like this in more than 30 knots. I think sometimes we did 4 races. It was very challenging, and I'm very happy about how I managed it. Yeah.
Today has taken its toll, but tomorrow the hardcore foiling continues with the prediction of more strong winds and rain in Stein.
The curtain has closed on an unforgettable week in Porto Cervo as the 2025 Swan 1 Design Worlds wrapped up in true Mediterranean style. The final day brought a light north breeze around 11 knots, gradually decreasing through the afternoon. 2 races were completed across all classes, fulfilling the full race program, 8 races for the Club Swan 50, 42, and 36 fleets, and 10 races for the Club Swan 28s, competing in their inaugural Gold Cup.
It's the final day of racing here in Porto Cervo at the Swan 1 Design Worlds, and the pressure is on. Last night's owners' dinner at the Yacht Club Costa Smeralda brought together the whole Swan community. Good food, great drinks, and even better company. But this morning it is back to business. Podium positions are up for grabs across the entire fleet. With lighter breeze out on the course, patience and precision will be key.
We enjoy each other so much. The team is fantastic. Sometimes you feel the spirit. Everybody was so happy and they were hungry and wanted to do it. And we finally got there. So this is extremely satisfying and pleasing. I love it.
It was a fantastic week. For us, it's the first time this year. So we try to learn from everybody. In the end, we catch up with them and that was a great outcome. So yeah, we keep improving ourselves. We have 3 more regatta for this year. So looking forward to it.
You know, for us it's very special this race because we've been sailing some of the times here in Porto Cervo now with the best of lucks. We were very close until the last race. I mean, we started today just with 1 point ahead of the second, everything within a few meters. Long life to the 42s.
3 times world champion of Club Swan 36. Who would have ever thought when I was 10 that I would be standing here being interviewed for this?
6 days into the race, Christian Zurgel's Volvo 70 Choose 2, co-skippered by Johnny Mordaunt, has raced over 2,000 miles and is the clear leader for both monohull line honours and the overall IRC win. The 2025 5.5-metre World Championship was finally won on the last race by the Jean Genie, skippered by Peter Morton along with crew Andrew Palfrey, Ruari Scott. For Morton it was the culmination of 5 years' work and, along with Scott, their first world title in the class, while for Palfrey it was his 3rd world title. The owners, captains and crews of the spectacular array of yachts gathered for the 29th edition of the Superyacht Cup Parma are making their final preparations ahead of the start of racing. With the regatta's new home base in the prestigious Club de Mar Mallorca, the race crews aboard the 11 yachts entered are now able to size up the competition in their respective classes, which have just been announced at Europe's longest-running Superyacht Festival of Sail. Day 4 of the Sailing Gran Slam at Kiel Week brought testing conditions and tactical showdowns in the Ilka 7 class. With winds averaging 25 knots and gusting up to 30, the Ilka 7 fleet faced brutal sailing conditions that ultimately limited the day to just one race.
Intense conditions in Kiel for the sailors on the final day before the medal races. Winds averaging 25 knots, gusting to 30, made life difficult for the sailors and the race organisers. Today's bruising conditions put the biggest and the strongest at a significant advantage. In the end, there was only one race for the Ilka 7 class today. The winds were just too strong. A balanced, close race in a high-quality field. Leader of the regatta, the Italian Lorenzo Chiavarini, controlled the race from the start. At the leeward gate, the classic split situation, with Chiavarini choosing the left-hand side. In the end, Ireland's Finn Lynch pushed his way to the front and took the only victory of the day. The German favourite, Philipp Buhl, who is racing on pretty much his home waters, didn't enjoy his best day today. The former world champion from the Allgäu region of Germany scored an uncharacteristic 18th place. Tomorrow, medal race day in the Olympic classes at Kieler Woche. The Italian Chiavarini goes into the last day with a reassuring lead of 12 points ahead of his compatriot Dimitri Peroni.
Yeah, it's pretty windy, so pretty hard on the legs. But we have big range of pressure and shifts, so it's just about linking them up and getting a good start, so then you're able to do that straight away. So downwind's pretty hectic as well, so pretty tense.
With a bit of luck and a lot of skill, sailors further down the order, like Philipp Buhl, could yet jump onto the podium.